Hi, Katie. So nice to meet you. My name is Megan. I'm going to be your therapist.
Nice to meet you.
Great. I'm so glad you were able to make it today. I went through your intake, and the form gives me a lot of information, but I thought maybe today we'd be able to do a little broader assessment.
Sure.
So on your intake form, I noticed that it said you're married.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I recognize as a therapist that often my clients really struggle with heterosexuality. It's something that causes a lot of problems in their lives. So I'd like to start there and explore that a little bit more and how heterosexuality has impacted you. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, great. So first off, when and how did you first choose to be a heterosexual?
I don't think I ever chose to be. I've always been heterosexual.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Is it possible that your heterosexuality is a phase that you will merely grow out of?
No, I don't think so. I've always been heterosexual. I don't think it's a phase. It's just how I've always been.
Okay. So to whom have you disclosed these heterosexual tendencies to? Your parents, family? How did they react?
Everybody knows. My parents have always known, I guess. They didn't really have a reaction.
Okay. So tell me, if you have never slept with a person of the same sex, how can you be sure that you wouldn't prefer it?
I guess I just know. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't know is an acceptable answer. Tell me, why is it that you insist on flaunting your heterosexuality? I see people on the streets constantly holding hands, kissing, opposite sex couples just seem to be very comfortable. Why would you do that in public?
I wouldn't say I flaunt my heterosexuality. I think I just express myself in public. I guess I don't know that either.
Okay, moving on. So tell me this. This is a bit touchy. A disproportionate number of child molesters are heterosexual men.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider it safe to expose your children to heterosexual male teachers, priests, pediatricians, scoutmasters, for example?
I guess I've never really thought about it. I always assume that they're safe, but I guess I don't.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So do you hope for, are you concerned for your children to grow up to become heterosexual, knowing the problems they'll face, such as heartbreak, STDs, divorce?
Boy, I guess I've never really thought about it. I don't know.
It's a daunting future for them, it's true. So with all of the societal support for marriage that we're seeing these days, the divorce rate is spiraling. Why do you think that is, that there are so few stable heterosexual relationships?
I don't know. I guess I don't know why that is.
Is yours stable?
I think so.
Interesting. So heterosexuals are notorious for assigning themselves and one another rigid, stereotyped sex roles. Why must you cling to such unhealthy role playing?
I don't know. That's what I saw in my parents and on TV, and that's what music has, and that's just how I know it to be.
Okay. So, and again, these are somewhat personal, and I do appreciate your cooperation.
Okay.
Very important for a full assessment of your needs.
Mm-hmm.
How can you enjoy an emotionally and physically fulfilling experience with a person of the opposite sex when there are such vast differences between them, anatomically, emotionally? I mean, how can one really know how to please another?
I don't know. You just figure it out, trial and error, see what works.
Okay. So along that vein, tell me, why do heteros place so much emphasis on sex, do you think?
I don't think we place that much emphasis on sex, but
Okay.
maybe we do. I don't know.
So, moving on, how can you hope to actualize your God-given homosexual potential if you limit yourself to exclusive, compulsive heterosexuality?
I don't know. Can you repeat the question? I don't understand.
Perhaps I misspoke. How can you hope to actualize your God-given homosexual potential if you limit yourself to exclusive, compulsive heterosexuality?
I guess I've never thought of it as that I'm limiting myself. I'm just expressing myself as I know how. I don't know.
But in such an exclusive vein, I mean, one person, it's almost like a compulsion. Don't you think?
I don't think so. that's not how I think of it, but I don't know, I've never thought about it that way.
Let's ponder it. So just a couple more questions here. I really appreciate your cooperation again. Tell me, why do you personally choose to identify yourself as a heterosexual, considering that so many of them are hateful and violent toward others?
I guess you're right. I don't know. It's just how I feel. It's just how I've always been. And I guess so have a lot of really hateful, violent people.
Yeah, and compatriots almost, yeah. I've just got one last question here, and then we'll be moving on to another subject. So there seems to be very, very few happy heterosexuals in this country. There have been techniques developed that might help cure you of that, or at least enable you to change if you really want to. Have you ever considered aversion therapy or Heterosexuals Anonymous?
No, never. I have never thought anything about those kinds of therapies.
Well, it's something that's available and that is provided here in our office. So if you feel the need after our conversation today to perhaps consider changing your heterosexual ways and open yourself up to new experiences, we can help you with that here.
Okay.
Katie, thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. It's going to equip me to better serve you.